Good morning, everyone. Good morning, Cody.
Morning, Krisha.
The floor is yours, sir. You do what you want to do, and then I want to at some point, and we maybe want to do it a little early, is introduce a new ecosystem Google Sheet I have, so people can drop their contact information in that, um, so that we have it as a living document. But if you want to get started, and then pass it over to me, and whenever you're ready.
Okay. This morning, I know Adam had told me that he has appointment at 10:30, so I figured just go ahead and allow him to present. But name's Cody Long. I'm council chair for Reentry Councils, Mercer, McDowell, Summers, and Monroe County. Today we have Adam Short with First Choice Services presenting. I'll go ahead and hand it over to you, Adam.
Well, good morning, everybody. I appreciate y'all allowing me to come and talk to y'all a little bit. Get my camera figured out here. Sorry. So I'm the outreach coordinator with First Choice Services. We operate a lot of the helplines here in the state. Recently, we've had some changes with a couple of our programs that we're no longer going to be servicing, which the first one is 211. They've changed it over to a different reporting system than what it is that we use. So they have a new provider that's supposed to be starting anytime now. So we're no longer going to be servicing 211. It's still a great program. It's just not something that we're a part of now just because of their different reporting system. And then recently there was a new grantee for the tobacco quit line. So we're no longer going to be servicing the tobacco quit line either. That ended at the end of the year. I believe, I can't remember exactly which program took that over off the top of my head, but I do know that if we do have some additional literature and stuff like that on it. So if anybody needs that, we've got a bunch that we're still have that
That's going to be a Zoom situation.
that we definitely could still send out to you. But just a little bit about some of our programs. First program is our Help for West Virginia, which in conjunction with the DHS was established to help individuals with mental health and substance use treatment. We had a great crisis of people trying to get into treatment programs and being told they had to wait 2 or 3 weeks to get in. And that created a great boundary because usually in 2 to 3 weeks, people are going to change their mind. So it was not really doing anybody any good to have to wait around for that. So with this program, we can usually get people in treatment within 24 hours. That's finding them a bed, making sure that they can get insurance coverage, and the whole 9 yards. We even established getting them a ride to that facility. So we do have a lot of opportunities there with that program. And it's continuing to expand as well as we see more and more treatment centers become certified. We have more opportunities to be able to get people into treatment. So if you know anyone that is in need of mental health or substance use treatment, please give us a call. It's absolutely free, and the help is invaluable to be able to get people into that treatment to get that first step started. So the other part of our Help for West Virginia is our Children's Crisis Line. It's on the same line. It's the same number. It's just a different prompt when you push the buttons. But with that line, the Children's Crisis Line, we help individuals, children get the help that they need to be able to be successful where they're at. Instead of kids having to go out of state to get treatment, they're able to get treatment typically in their homes or locally. And so there's lots of different opportunities for that that even just a year or two ago was not available. So we're continuing to expand services for with that children's crisis line. We operate with in conjunction with a lot of our different centers that have like a child's crisis worker that will come to the home or come to the school or come to the hospital, speak directly to that child. We can help get the process started for the CSED waiver to get wraparound services completed. So like I said, there's lots of opportunities there for these kids, and we can help them get set up with therapy. I know that my oldest two kids are adopted. When my youngest son was having a lot of issues with behavioral health, this has been a number of years ago. There's just nowhere to find. Like, I was cold calling places trying to find somewhere to get him seen, and there just wasn't a whole lot of options at that time. Where we have access to all these different resources, it's all kind of pulled in one place, so somebody can just reach out. They can give you, knowledgeable answers, be able to help you find treatment in the areas that you're in, and help get those contacts established. So, again, it's a great opportunity for individuals that really aren't for sure how to navigate that whole process. These people are trained for that purpose. Our next line is our 988, which originally kind of took over for our suicide hotline. But it does more than just the suicide portion of it. We also work with individuals in crisis, and sometimes we have people call us that are just struggling a little bit. They just need somebody to talk to. Maybe they feel isolated, especially during COVID times. We saw our call volume increase dramatically. And honestly, we haven't really seen that go down. And so people still feel isolated. People still feel like they just need somebody to talk to, or maybe somebody to vent to. They've had a bad day. So don't think that you just have to be in a very bad state to call that line. They're trained crisis counselors that answer that phone call. They're not reading off a script. These are individuals that have been highly trained. They go through a whole process before they ever get onto a line. It's not like we tell people sink or swim. We're actually giving them the proper training that they need to be able to do what they need to do. So it's really important for people to understand that you can call them, you can text that number, you can text 988. You can also go online and start a chat log with 988, and they'll answer your questions that way. And typically speaking, when someone reaches out that way, there's an option for people to be able to be anonymous. So, I know a lot of people are concerned, especially people that work in behavioral health field. They might be concerned, well, if I reach out, is this going to cause problems with my job? Most of the time it's not going to, but if you feel like that may be an opportunity or something like that, you can always feel free to talk anonymously to our staff, and we're just there to help genuinely. We just want to see people be able to maybe de-escalate a situation, bring them some kind of peace and comfort. And kind of the caveat there is that if you call 988, and let's say that you call them today, you're upset, you've had a bad day, you're struggling with something, but you're not quite ready for treatment yet. It's great, call 988. But let's say that in a few months from now, if you allow our 988 team, they'll do follow-up calls with you just to check in. And let's say a couple months from now, you're ready for treatment. They're like, okay, great, we can switch you over to our Help for West Virginia line. So literally, it's a warm handoff in the same building to be able to get people the help that they need. So, people that may be concerned about that, like 988 isn't there for treatment purposes, but we do have that opportunity with Help for West Virginia. So many of our programs work hand in hand, which is great because, if they're not sure about something, usually there's a program in our building that can help people with that. And then, of course, we also have our West Virginia Navigator line, which is a great program. We just came through our open enrollment. And it's there to help people with marketplace coverage through the Affordable Care Act, usually from November 1st to January 15th is our open enrollment. After that point, there is opportunities if people have lost medical coverage to get a special enrollment period, but people can get really confused when it comes to that because some of that language, or you can click the wrong button even, and then all of a sudden, like, that insurance that's supposed to be affordable is now going to cost you $1,000 a month. So that's what we're there for, to be able to kind of look it over and be like, hey, if you click this is what you're supposed to do. And here are some of the plans that are available. We kind of walk people through that. We don't tell people to sign up for anything in particular. We just show them what options are available to them, and then they kind of make that decision themselves. But we're able to help them do that enrollment. But also as part of that program, we do our Medicaid expedite. So we do have contacts at the state level with DHS that we can reach out to. Uh, uh, and, someone's wanting to get into treatment. Again, you don't want someone to wait 2 or 3 weeks. DHS has up to 30 days to process your application. With the Medicaid expedite program, most of the time it's less than 24 hours to get people full Medicaid coverage. Sometimes they need additional information. Sometimes they don't. So it really depends on the situation. But usually, I mean, I've had it done in as quick as 15 minutes. So I know for sure that it works. They're backed up a little bit because of the holidays and stuff like that. But typically it's about 24 hours to get people full Medicaid coverage. So if you have anybody that have any questions about that, additional, I've also dropped my email in the chat so you can reach out to me. Like I said, I do have a meeting here at 10:30 that I have to go to. But you can always ask additional questions that way. One of the programs that's not ours specifically, but a program that we assist with is the Jobs and Hope program. Originally was started to help individuals that had substance use issues, to be able, they had barriers, getting employment due to substance use. It's also been extended to mental health as well. So anybody who has a barrier because of mental health or substance use, to receive employment, Jobs and Hope is a great program. Typically when I go out and people ask about those particular programs, they're like, oh, well, that's that program that gives us a free car, right? Well, it's a lot more than that. There's lots of other parts that are important. So the big portion of that is the education part. And you've got to be enrolled in the program. You got to do everything you're supposed to be doing. So it's not just like that you join it and you get a free car. There's important parts that go along with that as well. But our part of that program is that we do like the initial intake, and then we transfer those individuals out to the transition agents in their area. So it's kind of broken down in the state to different transition agents. So see if someone's going to meet the qualifications. If they meet the qualifications, then we kind of take their information, we go through and send it to the transition agent. And the people that answer that line are our peers, which is part of our Help for West Virginia program. And they're integrated into American Job Center. We have them integrated in our penal system. We've got them integrated into law enforcement now with our CIT programs. And so, we've got peers everywhere, and, we're really seeing a big difference being made as a result of the work those peers are doing, within their different areas of expertise. So it's a great program. We usually, every Monday, typically I will go to the jail. I'll help people that are being discharged, to be able to get their Medicaid applications completed so that when they leave jail, that they're actually able to go ahead and already have their Medicaid ready. So that's part of one of the programs that we do as well with that Navigator program, but it works in conjunction with our peers. So everything really kind of goes together. And then our last program is kind of our flagship program, which is our gamblers, problem gamblers. Unlike a lot of our other grants or other programs that are grant funded, usually through federal or state grants, the West Virginia Lottery is actually the one who funds our problem gamblers. So it's actually our most well-funded program. So when you go buy a lottery ticket, a portion of that sale goes to help fund problem gamblers. It's kind of like the caveat of having gambling in our state. So there's great opportunities there with that program. We're trying to get into more schools. We're going into college campuses, being able to do presentations, talk to them about it, giving them literature. And typically when you talk about going into schools and college campuses, people are like, well, why is that so important? And that is because right now that's one of our biggest issues that we're seeing with the prevalence of not only sports gambling, the availability for even very young high school students to be able to gamble. The access to it is it has been extended. And not only that, but they're really kind of getting conditioned by video games. Um, I know that I probably sound like the old man, like get your kids off video games, but it's not really the case. As much as it is like loot boxes and things like that, when those kids buy loot boxes, there's a chance they could get something really good, or there's a chance they could get something pretty common. And if they get something pretty common, the game's always like, well, buy another one, and then next time you might get lucky. So the seeds are planted, and I have kids, young kids, and they play video games, and like, I want to spend my money on this, and I'm like, okay, but you understand there's a risk to it. If you you don't get what you want, you just don't get it. But it's so important to be able to talk to kids about this stuff, because the earlier you're exposed to these ideas, the more likely you are to develop a lifelong issue or an addiction, even into your adulthood. It's kind of the same with substance use. The earlier you're exposed to it, the more likely you are to develop an addiction to it. So we want to be able to talk to our young people about that. So that's something that's kind of our mission for 2025, is to be able to talk to more younger people about that. Gambling's not just something that adults do, but it's something that kids can get involved in too, and can cause a lot of problems. So it's important for us to kind of have those conversations now. But we continue to have these expansions of programs with problem gamblers. More and more places are reaching out to us to get more information, to get more help for their employees, for their businesses. So I think it's a great thing that people are more aware of what's going on. But yeah, there's lots of great opportunities with First Choice, and lots of different programs, and we're continuing to add more programs. I mean, while technically we did lose those two, we are still continuing to add more things. And I'm sure that we'll probably see more things as throughout this year as we go. If you have questions, though, you can feel free to reach out to me in the email and ask me, or I've got about 10 more minutes before I need to hop off. So if anybody has any questions, they can feel free to ask.
No question, but I'm happy to hear about the expedition of Medicaid. I know that's something that I've faced in the past before. Somebody's wanting to get into treatment, they don't have coverage, and in between them getting the coverage and being able to get them to treatment, things have changed, and it doesn't always happen. So to know that that's available is awesome. Anybody else have any questions or comments for Adam?
Hey, I'm sorry, I was trying to get off mute. Hey, Adam, this is Keith Bowling with Aetna Better Health. We are actually one of the Medicaid providers for the state of West Virginia. When you guys get those Medicaid applications expedited for those individuals, do they go through the normal process of picking who their provider is as far as an MCO goes, or do they just get like straight Medicaid through the state? How does that work for them?
It's straight Medicaid. Now they have the option to change their MCO. But when it's approved, it's just a straight Medicaid. So there's not really that process of getting a packet in the mail, through Mountain Health Trust or anything like that. It's just a straight Medicaid. And then if they want to change their MCOs, we can help them do that. But typically their point their main purpose at that point is just for treatment. So
Okay.
but they can always change that at a later date. But as far as that goes, it's just a straight Medicaid. So.
Okay. Yeah, and the only reason I'm asking is I'm trying to get more. I'm actually going to go to a resource fair at the prison in Beckley at the point in the spring. So I just wanted to be ready, kind of prepared when I'm talking to those individuals, so I knew how it works when they're coming out of incarceration, or if they're having the mental health needs and stuff. So thank you for answering that.
Yeah, sure. You can shoot me an email. I'll give you my other contact information. And then that way, if you have like additional questions about that, then you can just give me a call or whatever. So,
Perfect. Thank you.
all right, you're welcome.
Well, if there aren't any additional questions for Adam, I'd like to thank you again for presenting. I know you've got some things you need to do at 10:30. So if you need to go ahead and log off, feel free to. But thank you again.
All right. Thank you for having me. Y'all have a great day.
Throw it back to you, Krisha.
All right, thank you, and well, bye, Adam. So one of the things that, we've talked about is, some kind of a living document or some kind of a way to collect all of our contact information. We all put it over in the chat, but, unless Cody saves it, unless I save it, it doesn't really ever go anywhere or do anything. So Ashley Lowe up in, at the, where is she at? Ashley, has been working on something, and then I've created a Google Sheet. So I will drop that in the chat and I'll do a share screen, so that we can all continue to put our information in it. Aaliyah's done it already. I know Phil has done it. Jen has done it already with all the other councils. That way we can, all just have this giant living document that we can all access. And hopefully keep it updated, because we know people come and go so quickly around here. But let me share it here, and then you can open the link. It gets a little crazy if everyone is trying to access it at one time, because everyone is trying to type in the same cell. But if we can, just everybody, say, hey, I'm claiming this cell. And make sure. All right, can everybody see that?
Yeah.
All right.
Yeah.
So along the bottom, you'll see all of the different reentry councils. So right now we're doing the Mercer, McDowell, Summers, Monroe, right? I hope that's where we are. And then, just put your business name, all of the fill in all of those along the way. If you work with more than one reentry council or one area, you can click on that tab. Feel free to just copy and paste your information over in there. There's a drop down so that you can see there's all kinds of different types of services and organization and things that you provide. So I put it over in the chat so you can work on that later. You can work on that now. Save that link so that as you're looking for stuff too, hey, I need somebody that's looking for this, and they're in this county, but they're transferring to this. It's just something that we can have also, as well as, all of the things that Adam just talked about with 211 and Help for West Virginia and stuff. So, anybody have questions or ideas or suggestions about how to make this a better tool?
Nothing other than just that it's a great idea. I'm glad that we have this now. So
Okay.
thank you.
So if you want to spend a couple of minutes, we can work on that. Like I said, the hardest part is everybody, trying to claim their cell and not type over top of each other. So we'll give everybody a few minutes to work on that before we go on to the next part of business.
Krisha, this is Ardella Cottrell. Can I just make a brief announcement, because I do have to leave for another meeting?
Oh, yes, ma'am.
Okay, I am the secretary of the West Virginia Behavioral Health Planning Council, and we meet quarterly, January, April, July, and October is when our meetings are, the third Thursday of each month. We meet in Nitro, West Virginia from 9:30 a.m. to 3:30 p.m. And then we also have a hybrid link also, so people can join by Zoom. We are looking for council members, and our seats are parents of children with SED, youth 18 to 25, individuals in recovery of mental health, individuals in recovery with SUD, providers of SUD, family members in recovery. That means they have a loved one with mental health or substance use issues. And then we have a provider seats, and we just added 2 re-entry seats, and we are looking to fill those. So if you know of anybody that's been incarcerated that would love to give their experience to the state, we would love to have them. I did put my information in the chat. They could reach out to me, by email, either one of my email addresses. And then also, I am the coordinator of the West Virginia Leadership Academy, which is a free 2-day training teaching leadership skills. We give 14 contact hours in the same 4 domains as Recovery Coach. And we will come to you.
Ardella, I think I'd sent it out before. Do you have a flyer for the councils or for the positions?
We are working on one for the council.
Okay.
But I can send those out to you. That's not a problem.
Okay. Yeah. Whenever you get an announcement or something like that, email it to me and I'll send it out on Constant Contact. So
Okay.
yep, perfect. And I guess with anybody, if anybody has anything they want to send out, just email it to me and I'll get it sent out.
Thank you so much.
Thank you, Ardella.
You guys have a nice day.
All right. Does anybody have any issues or problems with the sheet?
It seems like it's pretty simple, straightforward to use. So
Okay.
I like that.
All right. Megan, do you have anything? I see you're jumping off too. Or is she gone already? She's gone.
I think she dropped out. Yeah.
All right. In usually late spring, we will usually do a reentry simulation. She's gone to with Lori Pace, there at Concord. So we'll probably be working with her and Megan on that. And then in the fall, we'll do one at, I think Bluefield is at the other place Megan's at. I can't remember.
Yeah. Mhm.
So
Yeah.
we do that. Other than that, I don't think really we have any announcements other than just working on that spreadsheet. So
Yeah. But I guess I can go ahead and go around doing introductions. I'll start off. William Cody Long, work as a PRSS for McDowell County Family Treatment Court. Work out of the Day Report Center. See, Jen, would you like to introduce yourself?
Yes, hi. Thanks for having me. My name is Jen. I work for the Northwood Health Systems Crisis Unit in the Northern Panhandle. We have 2 crisis units. We have one in Wheeling and one in Weirton. We have 16 beds at each facility, and we are co-ed, so we can admit males and females 18 and older who are experiencing detox, going through any kind of withdrawal management, or have any psychiatric issues going on. So we're co-occurring. We are filled right now at our Ohio County unit, but we do have some beds open in Brooke County. We take admissions 24/7, and if you're not in our area, you can call, have a phone assessment done to know if you're appropriate or not for our services. So thank you for having me. Do you want me to call in someone?
Yes, please.
Aaliyah.
Good morning. My name is Aaliyah Tanner. I am the Client Assistance Program Advocate with Disability Rights of West Virginia. We are the federally mandated protection advocacy group for people with disabilities, and the Client Assistance Program specifically ties to VR, Vocational Rehabilitation, which for West Virginia is Division of Rehabilitation Services. I put our contact information and our website in the chat already. I recommend anybody who has any kind of disability related questions to start with us. Even if we're not the the group that needs to be dealing with that. We'll get you to the group that does deal with the specific issue. But we do specifically disability rights advocacy. So whether that's in the school system with IEPs, 504s, employment, not following whatever plans you may have for accessibility, you name it. We've got Social Security, overpayments, things like that. Pretty much the only thing we can't do is we can't help people apply for Social Security, and that is a Social Security rule, and we don't get to make the rules. We just have to follow them. But I put my email and our website in the chat. If you guys have any questions, concerns, anything like that, you can always email, call us, whatever. And I will call on Keith.
Hey guys, good morning. As I said earlier, Keith Bowling, Aetna Better Health of West Virginia. We are one of the Medicaid providers in the state of West Virginia. So as I was talking to Adam earlier, if an individual qualifies for Medicaid, they usually typically get that packet in the mail after qualification that has all of the MCO information on it. And then they have a deadline that they get to choose which company or MCO they would like to have as their Medicaid provider for the state of West Virginia. And so I just like to set in on these calls. And as I mentioned earlier, I'm trying to get more into the incarcerated setting. I actually work part-time for the DOC in a different state. So just trying to get more into that in West Virginia to help those individuals if they do qualify for Medicaid, just to share information with them about the benefits and things that are available to them. And I will go to Carla.
Good morning, guys. My name's Carla. I'm with WellPoint of West Virginia, formerly Unicare, also one of the Medicaid MCOs in the state. And I work with the whole health population health team as a health promotion consultant. So I collect resources for our members, and I travel around and do health education presentations. So if all of these counties that is on the call today is within my wheelhouse of counties that I cover. So if there's any health education topic that I can help out with, just let me know. And I will pass on to, let's see, R. Griffith.
Are you there, Roger?
Yes, I'm sorry. Oh, I'll talk to you later, Steve.
All right, thanks.
I'm sorry, I got a phone call there. One of the things that my name is Roger Griffith. I'm the campus director for both the Greenbrier and Mercer County campuses of New River Community Technical College. I'm also taking a new role starting next week as the interim dean. One of the things is we're working with the State Department of Education and their folks to get, I mean, this is more of a people that are, you have not done their reentry yet, but we're working with their programs to deliver education within the system and give people the ability to get job skill sets while still incarcerated using the federal Pell program and also the state HEAPS money. So the more education they can get, the better off they'll be when they do their reentry. They'll have additional skill sets to you get productive in a job that's paying a livable wage. One of the designs of the program eventually will be that they can continue their education with transferable education, but the initial focus is on hands-on skill sets that they can work on the technical fields. We're running into an issue that there's a piece of legislation or procedure at the state level that requires a strike through to come into compliance with the federal financial aid regulations. And that is the goal for our legislative session that's upcoming in a month. So we're excited about that program, and of course, we will be available to set up at any of your events that you guys request if we have enough lead time. So that's what's going on with us, and thank you guys for having us today.
And I believe all we have left is Tanganyika.
Hi, my name is Tanganyika Martin. I'm the reentry coordinator here at McDowell County Correctional Center. We majority house sex offenders, and my overall goal is to try to find somewhere for them to go. It's an issue statewide. So I really come to these meetings to try to get all the resources and information I can. As in far as trying to one day find places for sex offenders to go.
So are we good to end it here, Tricia?
Yeah, Tanganyika, I know you have a hard job there trying to find some, and Phil had to jump off earlier, but that's kind of something that he's working on too. He's got a big goal ahead of him, so hopefully Phil can make something happen. But thanks for all your help, Tanganyika.
You're welcome. Thank you.
You're welcome. That is all I have. So Cody, if you've got anything, and then who do we have next month? February.
I believe it may be
Matt
Matt
Atwood
Atwood
from
with
Catholic
Catholic
Church.
Charities.
Yep.
Yeah. Okay, and that'll be on the 18th of February. So I hope to see you all then. Thank you all for joining today.
Thank you.
All right. Thank you, everyone. Thanks, Cody.
Thank you, Tricia.
You're
See ya.
welcome. See ya.